A failure. That's how the Department of Justice describes the law enforcement response to the mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde.
A nearly 600-page report released yesterday details exactly what went wrong.
Former Special Agent and Police Officer Fred Burton joins us here live. He is now a security expert. So Fred, we talked with you the day of the shooting, now here 2 years later. Initially, people were making these same complaints, these same allegations. Reading this DOJ report now, does this surprise you? Do you agree with this?
I think first it's a very thorough report, and thank you for having me on. I've done a lot of these after-action reports looking at various kinds of disasters and terrorist attacks. And look, there were so many failures that unfolded here in Uvalde, but the important takeaway are the lessons learned. And this will train a generation of police officers and school resource officers going forward. This is just like the aftermath of Columbine, the Covenant Church shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. But there were some really very interesting points that I pulled out of this.
One of the biggest is that the commander on scene here, the school district police chief, treated this as a barricaded suspect instead of as an active shooter. I can't imagine anybody ever not going in and confronting after what we've learned here now.
Well, you're absolutely correct. Look, the first two officers on the scene should have immediately tracked down the shooter and neutralized the threat. When you start thinking about this in context, there was 326 law enforcement officers on scene, local, state, and federal. That's more than the personnel involved at the garrison in protecting the Alamo. For goodness sake, what those first responders should have done is just simply gone after the shooter and neutralized the threat. That's the protocol nationwide that has surfaced since Columbine.
Now, Fred, while this report is very detailed about exactly what happened, it still doesn't offer recommendations on how to perhaps use the information learned in this situation and then stop anything else from happening like it again. As in your expertise, what would you say could possibly make a huge difference in this in our future?
Yeah, it's a great question. You have the alert fatigue with the bailouts because of the geography of the border. The school, it's kind of like a fire alarm where people don't pay attention to. So there has to be a lot of training of staff and personnel and school administrators. There was a lot of physical security mistakes, such as unlocked doors and propped open doors. And then when you start looking at the shooter, there was enough warning signs there that there should have been some sort of intervention on the part of the family, or someone should have reported this subject. So there should have been an interdiction that stepped in to try to see what he was up to.
So really quickly here, I know there's a Texas law requiring armed guards to be on all campuses. That hasn't really fully been implemented in all schools yet. I can imagine this will really make a difference safety-wise.
Certainly, whenever you have an officer on site in the school resource officer, they're going to have a superior area knowledge of that footprint of the geography. They're going to know the problem children. They're going to know the threats that are coming across. And they're going to be able to monitor and be first responders that could quickly neutralize a similar-like event.
All right, Fred, and really the report highlights just how key leadership is and the lack thereof, I think, at Uvalde, at Robb Elementary. Thank you so much, Fred Burton, security expert with OnTIC now and a former special agent. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.